Shalom Akim. First and foremost, want to give all praises to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Double honors to the elders of GMS that rule well, and all the rest of you brothers out there, this truth and sincerity. Today we're just going to go with the spirit and talk about a few things. First of all, I just want to talk about, 2/3 of Israel. Because we're coming into the time of this bullshit ass Black History Month. Everybody want to talk about, the Martin Luther King and all this other bullshit that literally has nothing to do with what the truth actually is of us being Israelites, our actual true heritage, which you so-called Negroes like to talk about a lot. But our people are not really concerned with actual true history, because our true history and heritage goes back to these scriptures. We want to talk about just no damn Black History Month. We want to talk about, all of them, Northern Kingdom, those so-called Latinos and Native Americans. First scripture we want to start off with is Isaiah 58:1. Go ahead and get that, brother.
All right. This is Isaiah 58:1. Cry aloud, spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins.
Yeah, man, look, we're not going, as we do this lesson today, man, we can't spare no feelings for you 2/3, man, because y'all really don't know what to be angry about when it comes to the injustice of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Y'all want to talk big about this stuff, but you're not serious about it at all. If anything, you should be angry. When you read this history on what they have done to us, just going all the way back to slavery in itself. These devils didn't just beat us, man. They raped, robbed, and murdered our people. Starting with the so-called Native Americans when they came over into this land, which they say Christopher Columbus discovered, which is all bullshit. And you didn't discover a land where people already lived in.
Right.
We talk about certain subjects like the Trail of Tears, how you pushed all of the so-called Native Americans out of southeastern parts of America, Northern America, all the way up into the northern states. And our people died of famine and diseases and stuff. That's the first thing these devils did when they came here to this land, when they didn't even know how to survive themselves. And that's the type of stuff we need to be talking about, rather than just you so-called Negroes and your bullshit-ass Black History Month. Because Judah, especially, man, they're not concerned when it comes to they're not concerned with the Northern Kingdom too much. And that's even here in the scriptures. Can you get that for me, brother, in Amos chapter 6, starting at verse 3?
This is Amos 6:3. Ye that put far away the evil day, and cause the seat of violence to come near, that lie upon beds of ivory, and stretch themselves upon their couches, and eat the lambs out of the flock, and the calves out of the midst of the stall, that chant to the sound of the viol, and invent to themselves instruments of music like David, that drink wine in bowls, and anoint themselves with the chief ointments, but they are not grieved for the affliction of Joseph.
And that scripture right there, man, that's pretty much talking about the Northern Kingdom on itself, man, because our people are not concerned with how we all suffering as a whole. We weren't the only ones beaten down and our children taken from us. It was also the so-called Native Americans and the Latino tribes as well.
That's right.
Our people forget about those stories where they came into this land, and the first thing they did after the so-called Native Americans taught them how to grow their own fruits and vegetables and help them eat properly, they started putting smallpox in their pillows and raping their women and murdering the children.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these are the type of things that our people don't want to talk about.
Right.
If anything, man, you should be angry with these devils, and that's referring to the so-called white man, just so y'all know.
That's
you know,
right.
Who's known as Esau according to the Bible. This is clearly explained to us how we were going to suffer, and this is not our place of rest. You're not going to get any justice.
Right.
You know, we were just looking into a story earlier this week on a young boy by the name of George Stinney, who was murdered 7 years ago by the state of South Carolina.
70 years.
70 years ago. Salaki, brother. I didn't say that correctly, but 70 years ago, where he was murdered by electrocution by the state of South Carolina for 11 and 8-year-old white girls.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you could bring that topic up, brother, there on Wikipedia, because right now what they're doing is they're having a court trial over it. I don't know the result of it at this time, but they're trying to get some type of justice today. You're not going to get any justice. Read up on that, brother.
This is George Stinney. An African-American youth was convicted of the first-degree murder of 2 preteen girls, 11-year-old Betty June Binnicker and 8-year-old Mary Emma Thames. However, no physical evidence existed in the case, and the sole evidence against Stinney was a circumstantial fact that the girls had spoken with Stinney and his sister shortly before their murder, and the testimony of 3 white police officers who testified at a trial which lasted barely 2 hours that Stinney had confessed to the murders. Following Stinney's arrest, Stinney's father was fired from his job. Stinney's parents and siblings were given the choice of leaving town or being lynched. The family was forced to flee, leaving George Stinney with no support during his 81-day confinement and trial. Trial presentation lasted 2.5 hours. The jury took 10 minutes to deliberate, after which they returned with a guilty verdict. Now, that might seem, bad, but what makes the situation even worse, the boy is only 14 years old, and he was barely 5 feet tall. So when they gave him the electric chair, they had to actually stack books on top of each other because he wouldn't fit in the electric chair. So, that speaks for itself, man.
God, and once again, these are the things that our people should be mad about. You know, y'all don't get it. Y'all put your faith and trust in this wicked ass kingdom, which was not our place of rest. Matter of fact, can you get that for me, brother, real quick in Isaiah chapter 30, verses 1 to 3?
Okay. You said Isaiah 30, right?
And before you read that real quick, I want to read this precept real quick. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 7. Surely oppression maketh the wise man mad, and the gift destroyeth the heart. So, hey, man, our people don't know. You're not even wise enough on what to be mad about. You guys actually celebrate these days as if this is something joyous to be happy about and understanding who you are. To one, you don't even know who you are according to your history and your heritage here in this place where you were enslaved.
Right.
You're known today as African Americans. We are of no relations to Africans.
Right.
Our lineage does not go back to those people.
You know what, but yet you all want to celebrate Nelson Mandela's death. Fuck Nelson Mandela. They ain't even your people.
God. Go ahead and read that for me, brother.
Isaiah 30 and 1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with the covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin, that walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt.
Trust in the shadow of Egypt. See, this is what y'all trust in. The law, man-made laws, all that stuff. This is the type of system you want to live by. Our people don't want to trust in the actual law, statutes, and commandments of the Bible. And this is why we continuously have no justice here in this wicked ass kingdom today.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion.
This is why our people continue to stay confused and don't understand why you're not going to get no justice. We just had the incident last year with Trayvon Martin.
Mm-hmm.
And what is it that you don't get? What makes you think you're going to get justice for this Jake 70 years later? What are you going you just want an apology? The Most High is going to want more than that.
Right.
You know, can you get that for me real quick, brother, in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 15?
Ecclesiastes 3:15. Come.
You know, this is how the Most High truly feels. Not according to your feelings. This is not something to be happy about and reminisce about as if this is a good thing and we've made progress.
All right, this is Ecclesiastes 3:15. That which hath been is now, and that which is to be hath already been, and God requireth that which is past.
The Most High requireth that which is past. So according to the scriptures, Most High is going to destroy these devils, man. And how's that going to happen? World War III, nuclear destruction. According to prophecy. These are the type of things, y'all, and not even just that situation that happened 70 years ago. People, in case they don't remember, you had the incident in Rosewood, Florida.
Yep.
Back in 1923, where those people in that town were massacred, all behind a so-called white woman lying, saying that she was raped by black men. They slaughtered that whole entire town. They didn't just shoot them and hang them. See, they'll give you the light version of these stories when they show you these movies, but I'm pretty sure they raped them kids. They raped the women in that town. Oh. They'll show you the lightest version of those stories, man, but they murdered those so-called Negroes in that town as well.
Yep. And if I could say something too, back to what you were saying about Ecclesiastes, surely oppression makes a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. And the reason a lot of you so-called Latinos and Negroes and Native Americans don't really want to wake up and understand the truth, because the truth is all the way around you. There's no way you could deny that you're on the bottom. There's no way you could deny that you're not accepted by the Asians as great, by the white man as great, by all these other nations as great. But at the end of the day, one, you don't trust in the Most High's power, and two, you want that gift. You want that little $5 they're giving you, that little Benz, that little mansion. I see so many, especially of Jake, especially the nigga woman. You give her a C-class Mercedes Benz and a house in the suburbs of Dallas or the suburbs of a nice area. She thinks she got it made, with the tag blessed on the bottom, full of stress. You know what I'm saying? With weave in your hair and all that nonsense. Eating pork and doing all these abominable things. You were put here in captivity, the greatest nation of all time. To this day, we have the greatest athletes, Anderson Silva, LeBron James, Floyd Mayweather, and at one point or another, whether you believe it or not, you were in slavery, so you don't have faith that God can take the most base nation on the planet. You have faith that he can take the most base nation on the planet and put you into slavery, but you don't have faith in this verse right here with this Revelation 13:10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and faith of the saints, because you guys just want this gift for now. You know, all you Egyptologists and all you people that don't want to come to the full understanding, you 2/3 niggas that don't want to understand you're an Israelite or think you're African, you don't want to come into the full fold of what this thing is really about. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But at the end of the day, we're looking for a reward too. We're not looking for Bugattis and you know, 4-story houses and all that unlawful crap. You know, we're looking for a kingdom. We're looking to have slaves. We're looking to have many oxen. We're looking to have many wives. You know, something you can't even fathom of because you're stuck in a society that isn't built for you to succeed. You know, and you're still trying to get over. You're still trying to make it. And, you know, I was looking at some show the other night and it was crazy because you had these, you know, these black women and they're like being proud of, you know, dyeing their hair blonde or getting streaks. You know, you want to look so much like the white man, you know, you want to be so much like the white woman, you know, and here it is, the white woman and the white man want to be like you. They're getting Botox shots. They're getting butt injections because, you know, they're getting skin, you know, trying to get their skin darker by going to get tans and stuff, you know, but here it is, you want to make your skin lighter. Sammy Sosa, Beyonce, you know, I look back at Sammy Sosa versus now, man, this dude is like bright as Casper, you know, and he knows he's taking his stuff. He wants to look lighter. He looks almost white. It's ridiculous, you know.
And not only that, like,
go ahead.
You know, and saying that too, man, you have the most disturbing things that are out there that keep our people occupied, like looking at Real Housewives of Atlanta and shit like that, thinking that y'all could live like these bitches on these reality shows.
Yep.
What were you saying before, brother, about yesterday? We were talking about that and how these people are constantly drunk on the set.
Yeah. Well, when I went to school for radio TV, and I had an internship with VH1 when the Love Ray J show first came out, and you know, you do the casting call for all the girls, and you got to pick a certain type. First of all, you know, we went through hundreds of girls for that show, you know, and they literally find the dumbest brides, which is not hard, but they literally find the dumbest brides that are down to do anything for you know, for fame, and they get down. You know what I'm saying? Like, they take them to a hotel room, do all that crazy stuff. But anyway, they get on the show, man, and they literally get them drunk on every scene. You know, they're always drinking. They're not really eating a lot, you know. And what they do is when you're on these reality TV shows, they basically isolate you from real life. It's called reality TV, but they isolate you. They take away your cell phone. You're not allowed to talk to your friends or family. You know, you're just stuck in this house with these 5, 6, 7, 8 people that you don't know, you know, and then you eventually crack. But, you know, you guys looking at these shows like it's a whole hour long full of drama. No, that's not how it works, man. Really what that is they're in the house for 24 hours, for 2 days straight sometimes, and no drama pops off because people aren't that dramatic. You know what I'm saying? Like, naturally, people aren't that dramatic, but what they do is they take 10, 15, 20 minutes of drama and they stretch it out for a whole hour. And then they get them even more drunk. Then, you know, they have a producer come tell one girl to say this, and they have another producer say this. So all that reality TV bullshit y'all watch, I don't care if it's the Kardashians, the Housewives, all of that shit is scripted. Ain't none of it real. And y'all sucking it up like it's real, and it's not.
This is how I want to live. You think you could be successful living like people from that? There's some crazy ass shows out, man. There's one called Thicker Than Water. You know,
I ain't heard that one.
You got a family, man, that's all about being rich through the church and shit like that. All kinds of crazy nonsense, man, including like Housewives, man. There's this one bitch on there that constantly likes to talk about her grandfather who walked with Martin Luther King and shit like that. And just so y'all know, man, just for edification, Martin Luther King was a false prophet.
That's right.
With that I Have a Dream speech, that was prophesied in the scriptures.
That's right.
And speaking of which, man, can you get that for me, brother, in Jeremiah chapter 23? Verse 25?
Let me get that. You said Jeremiah 23? Okay. Stand by real quick, because I had another one. Let me pull this up real quick. This is Zechariah 10:2. For the idols have spoken vanity, and the diviners have seen a lie, and have told false dreams. They comfort in vain. Therefore, they want their way as a flock. They were troubled because there was no shepherd. Jeremiah.
Beautiful, brother. That was on point, man. That was on point, man. And that's who y'all believe in, man. These people who claim to be men of the Lord, even within Israel. The constant debates you see that we've had going on these past few months. You know, you see people within Israel, these Egyptology niggas, man, all kinds of nonsense and bullshit, where they have no conclusion as to how we're going to become great again. But we get all the answers from the elders of GMS all day, 24/7.
Yep. Through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
Con.
I'm going to grab Jeremiah 23:2 for you. Jeremiah 23:2. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God of Israel, against the pastors that feed my people, ye have scattered my flock and driven them away, and have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doing, saith the Lord.
Con, that demand, that's on point, man, because, you know, that's what people like Martin Luther King and Al Sharptongue and Jesse Jackass, Bishop Eddie Long, and all of that. That's all these people have done, man. You push our people further away from the truth. You know, which is proven prophecy even more, man, that there's going to be 2/3 of Israel. That's going to have to be destroyed along with these other nations.
Yep.
Once again, that's all proof in itself, which other people within Israel are not going to teach, who know that they're Israelites. Y'all too busy trying to rebuild a community that don't even really care, man. And then y'all hustling our people for money.
Yep.
You're no different from these people within these Christianity beliefs, these religions.
Yep.
Back to that verse 25, brother.
You said go to where now?
Verse 25 in Jeremiah chapter 23, real quick. Because I was just bringing up earlier, man, that you got these false prophets out there who will tell you nothing but nonsense, man. And I was bringing up earlier that, hey, look, Martin Luther King was a false prophet. And that with that I Have a Dream speech, that all of us would come together one day, but the Most High doesn't say that nowhere in the scriptures that we're going to come together as a whole, as one nation under God, which is in that bullshit Pledge of Allegiance to the flag.
It sounds pretty smooth though, don't it?
God.
This is Jeremiah 23:25. I have heard what the prophet said, that prophesy lies in my name, saying, I have dreamed. I have dreamed.
So once again, man, this is false prophecy.
Yep.
That's not what the Most High wants.
Most definitely. But and just to clear the record, okay. Somebody goes and kills your son, you know, and 40 years later, you know, the generations all the way down the line. Why would you, or 50 years down the line, they come back. Why would you want to be associated with that person? You know, like, I mean, that's on a small scale, you know, that we're talking about. But these people literally killed millions of your own people. Why would you want to be hand in hand with somebody like that? You know, why would you?
Spiritually drunk.
Yeah, just sottish. You know, it doesn't make any sense how you want to be hand in hand with the white man when he's clearly your enemy. You know, he's clearly shown you time and time again, all I want to do is screw up the nation of Israel. All I want to do is mess your name up. All I want to do is throw you under the bus. All I want to do is take your inventions. All I want to do is push you further and further back into oppression. You know, And you know, all I want to do is tell you you're from Africa. All these different things. They meditate terror upon you day and night. They meditate terror.
And while you talking on that, brother, can you get that in Psalms 83:1?
Yeah, I got you. Psalms 83:1.
That's what I understand, man. Our people don't want to be special. Don't you understand that if it wasn't for any of us, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man, this society would not be up and running. But see, you guys put your trust in something that doesn't exist as far as these idols, which you're worshiping, all this bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
But it's stupid, man. Sodom's children. But go ahead and read that real quick.
Psalms 83:1. Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
And just so
they have.
Go ahead. Atonement is a roar. That's what the word atonement means. You know, people are basically yelling because they hate us that much. Their hatred is that deep, and that goes back to Jacob and Esau.
Yep.
Go ahead,
I'll look here in a minute. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
So they don't want us to remember who we are. But you know what's so funny? It's been so many hints of who we are, man. They've shown you that through movies. There was a movie that people are not familiar with like that called Clockers. And Jake wanted to ask Esau, man, I've always been wondering, what's your nationality? Are you Italian or this or that? He said, he made a smart ass remark to him, said, I'm from the lost black tribe of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
See, I said, man, it's been hinted to us so many times, even in Malcolm X, when he confronted a pastor, proving to him that the scriptures prove that whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ was a so-called Negro.
Yep.
What you got, brother?
I'm going to finish this. Psalms 83:5. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. They're completely against you.
And
just
go ahead.
Like and just to back you up, you know, when you're talking about you know, just people. I mean, Deuteronomy 28:68, like we said on the phone earlier. No. There's no philosopher that can break down that's not the Negroes, you know. There's no, you know, it says Deuteronomy 28:68, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt, and of course, you know, Egypt is bondage, again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
That's clear, man. If you read Deuteronomy chapter 28 all in itself, from 15 on all the way, from verse 15 all the way to 68, it breaks it down in detail that we would have chains put around our necks. That's never happened to any other nation of people on earth, ever. But it's documented when you read about the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans.
Mm-hmm.
But our people don't accept that, man. You guys want to hear lies and deceits. You think that you could continue to live on the way that you're doing now by watching this nonsense with these reality TV shows, all kinds of stuff, man. People are not even educated. Y'all don't know what these people do. What's the brother just explained how everything is set up? Mm-hmm. These people have sold their souls to these devils, man.
Nope.
To do what you think is something great and wonderful to prosper here in this wicked-ass kingdom.
Nope.
Can you get that for me in Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 22?
That's exactly what I was going to, so that's the spirit.
Con.
Jeremiah 4:22. For my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are sottish children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge.
See, that's all in itself, man, just clearly explained right there. You're wise to do evil. You're wise to think that you can live equally with these other nations, including the so-called white man who mocks you every day, whether it be on TV, through these politics, every damn thing. They make it clear that they hate you.
Yeah, and just to give some understanding from a real point of view. You want to make it in this society, but you don't even have your own customs. You can't grow a beard on your face. You gotta walk around looking like a damn baby, and you 45 years old, 50 years old. You gotta wear a damn suit, and you gotta wear a penis on your neck. You know what I mean? Women walking around wearing pants. You know what I'm saying? Some of you brothers be having the hair longer than females, having these damn dreadlocks in your hair. You know what I mean? Some of you walking around wearing skinny jeans, like you're trying to win in a place that has no order. And it doesn't matter. People really look at selling out as going into the Illuminati and doing blood sacrifices. No, man. You can sell out. You can sell out for a $30,000 job and going into the interview and a white man is telling you, hey, you're going to be able to do this and do this. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll be able to do that. No problem. A lot of you sell out like that. It ain't, so a lot of you people, you 2/3 niggas, you all just be looking at the Lil Waynes and the Jay-Z's. No, we talking about you. We're talking about them too, on a larger scale, but on an everyday scale, you 2/3 niggas that, go in here, especially like you black women in like the social security offices and shit, y'all got the worst attitudes ever. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of y'all y'all sell out for pennies. $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a year jobs, and you think you got it made, and you go to work. You got more respect for the white man than you do your own husband. Then you come home and you talk shit to him, tell him he ain't shit because he can't find a job because the system done fucked him over. You know what I mean? And then you go back to work and you go literally suck the white man's dick, and go hang out with white girls, and they're like, as soon as you leave the lunch table, they're like, what is she doing with her hair? Why does she have blonde streaks? Is she trying to be like us? Meanwhile, the white girl just got done getting lipo done, a tummy tuck, and a tan to be dark like you, and it's just a bunch of confusion. So all of you Jake that, listen to this, and think that we just talk about the higher ups of society. No, we're talking about you people that want to sell out and don't really want to stand up for anything, because I'm going to tell you something. There's coming a time where you're not going to have a choice in the matter of what you believe in. You know what I'm saying? It's either you're going to take that. Look, the mark of the beast is here. Verichip is here. They already got commercials about it. It's coming to your doorstep. Martial law is coming to your doorstep. So all you Jake, particularly you Jake who watch these videos, male and female, that know you're either of Negro, Latino, or Native American descent, and even probably know what tribe you're from, but you still want to be comfortable in society, you still want to watch the shows, you still want to act like you're a part of this society. There's going to come a time where you're going to have to get tested to see, which side you're going to be on. You know what I'm saying? Because there's gonna be reward either way, but don't think because, you under the radar that, the Most High don't see you. If you wicked, you wicked. If you following this society, you following this society. Okay? Go ahead, Ira.
Con, this is Isaiah chapter 30, verse 9. Matter of fact, I'm going to start at verse 8. Now go write it before them in a table and note it in a book, that it may be for the time to come forever and ever, that this is a rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of the Lord, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. So once again, these are the type of things that y'all don't want to hear. Y'all don't want to hear the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. You don't want to live righteously. You want to continuously eat those abominable foods. Kill each other at that. If not, y'all just as terrible as Esau. And the scriptures that tell you if our people have overpassed the deeds of the wicked.
Yep.
You know, y'all helping Esau out. And matter of fact, I want to read that. And can you get that for me, brother, real quick? In Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 25.
Jeremiah 5:25.
Con.
I got you. All right, we got Jeremiah 5. You said 5 and 25, right?
Con. Because another topic I had brought up too, me and the brother were talking about yesterday, like our people don't think, man. You think about our people who just get killed left and right over a pair of Jordans. Y'all don't hear nothing about no Michael Jordan coming out apologizing for these incidents. Michael Jordan don't give a fuck about none of y'all.
At all. Now this is Jeremiah 5 and 25. Your iniquities have turned away these things, and your sins have withholden good things from you. For among my people are found wicked men. They lay wait as he that setteth snares. They set a trap. They catch men. As a cage is full of birds, so are their houses full of deceit. Therefore they are become great and waxen rich.
Like
they are waxing.
It was like I was saying earlier, man. You know, as it says in Ecclesiastes 7:7, a gift destroyeth the heart. You know, our people, man, they don't give a damn about each other neither, man. Y'all think they come together for a little Black History Month and all this other stuff. Even you wicked ass so-called Native Americans and Latinos, man. Y'all don't care.
Yep. I remember I was having some random conversation. I don't even remember where it was. It was sometime last week, but I was having this conversation, and this girl, she just kind of randomly brought up Illuminati, you know, and she just kept going and going and going, and you know. And it was funny because, you know, at the end of the conversation, she was just like, well, I'm not going to worry about it. You know, I'm just going to, I'm just going to live my life, you know. And in my head, I mean, first of all, I didn't tell her anything else. But in the back of my mind, I was like, okay, so you're not going to worry about people, but you're not going to question why you have a birth certificate. You know, you're not going to question why you have to have a social security number. You're not, you know. To say you're not worried about that stuff is to say you're not worried about having registration or why you have to have an inspection on your car. You know, why you have to get taxed for the FDIC, why you have to have child support, why you have to have, why do you have to have a passport to leave the country? You know, if you're unemployed, why do you have to go to the government and ask for more money when it's already your damn money? And why don't they give it all to you up front? You know, you go get a 401k and you can't even pull money out of it if it's an emergency. You know, you're in slavery, man, but you're not going to worry about anything. You're out of your damn mind.
This is how low we are as the nation of Israel, man. But with the elders of GMS, man, this is how we're coming back into our heritage, man.
Nope.
As for the 2/3 of our people, man, we're going to see y'all again in the kingdom, man. Cause y'all are so far gone, it's impossible to literally get our people to wake up. But once again, this is all prophecy playing out. Continue on, brother, verse 28 on down to 31.
Okay. Jeremiah 5 and 28. They are waxing fat. They shine. Yea, they overpass the deeds of the wicked. They judge not the cause of the fatherless. Yet they prosper, and the right of the needy do they not judge. Shall I not visit for these things, saith the Lord? Shall not my soul be avenged on such a nation as this?
Man, even as King David said too, man, like, damn, do I not hate them that hate thee, O Lord? Matter of fact, I'm going to get that one after this brother reads this, because this is how mad King David was at our people, man. Our people worship the Most High in vain. One, you don't even call him by his actual name. His name is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahweh Shai. Mm-hmm. That's why we go back into the Hebrew and the Greek. This is the type of stuff our people don't understand. When you're reading this straightforward, verbatim, like this is fable type book, y'all not going to believe in this. Because the Bible goes a lot deeper than what the average person thinks.
Right.
It talks about reincarnation, spiritual powers, all that stuff. But see, y'all laugh about stuff like that. But you'll be quick to talk about the Ten Commandments, how Moses parted the Red Sea.
Yeah.
On Samson. Like the way y'all think they get this stuff from in the comic books.
That's right.
They get it from these scriptures. Mm-hmm. Continue, brother.
Verse 30. A wonderful and horrible thing is committed in the land. The prophets prophesy falsely, and the priests bear rule by their means, and my people love to have it so. And what will ye do in the end thereof? That's a direct question.
I'm telling y'all, man, y'all have no idea, man, of what's about to come. This is why I can't stand stuff like this Black History Month nonsense, man. Y'all don't really talk about nothing serious. And if you do, y'all think you shouldn't do it at that time. We really don't need to be talking about it at a time like this. Man, these white folks will quickly tell you, hey, I don't be pulling that race card shit. You're supposed to be living in peace. But yet they still talk the shit to your face. This is why I need to understand, man. Like these devils, they got something ready for you, man. Especially with this chip, like the brother just mentioned earlier, it's already in play, and y'all gonna take it, man. Especially you the women of Israel, man. You nigger women mainly. Y'all gonna take that chip, man, so y'all can get y'all welfare, so you get your food stamps and all that stuff.
It's funny you talked about the nigger woman in the chip, because I remember a couple months back I was watching a camp in Chicago. Shout out to those brothers pushing the word and the sincerity and truth. And one of the brothers, it was a nigger woman, two nigger women that came up to the asking any questions. And the brother asked the girl, "Do you believe in God?" And she was like, "Yeah, you believe in God, this, that, and the third, the whole rundown." And then he said he went into the mark of the beast, which is we can get that too if that's where the Spirit is leading us. He went into revelation about the mark of the beast, and he read it to her. And after he read it to her, he said, you love God, so are you going to take the chip? And she's like, no, I'm not going to take the chip. And then she said, what if it means that you lose all your money and you don't have any food? Are you still going to take the chip? And man, she quickly reverted to, I don't believe that God would let his children starve. I don't believe that God will let his people suffer, so I'm going to take it because I know God is with me, because I believe that that's the way you motherfucking women think in this society.
See, and that's crazy, man. But these are those same people back in the day, man, when Moses led them out of Egypt. You didn't starve. You didn't starve back then. But yet, y'all didn't trust in the Most High back then.
Nope.
Y'all wanted to go back to Egypt after this place was completely destroyed.
Nope.
With plagues. And I was like, man, and then something much worse is getting ready to come, 10 times, 100 times worse than it was back then. During those times of our multiple times of slavery. Our people don't get that, man. So those nigga women, y'all going, that's when it's truly going to come out, man, how fucked up y'all are.
And you know what? Well, that's on my mind. Me and you were talking about it yesterday. For those of you that haven't seen the movie The Road, it's a very good, it's a good movie to check out because, the one scene in there, I mean, I look at everything as Jake anyway, but the whole movie was about martial law and what happened after martial law popped. I mean, America was desolate. There was cannibalism. It's a good movie, but the woman in the movie, you know what I'm saying, she got weak and just said, you know what, I'm just gonna tap out, I'm just gonna
go out there and die.
Just die.
Lost her mind.
Yeah.
And you women are going to be looking for real men. Now let's be real about that. You're not going to be messing around with these faggot ass niggas wearing little tight, little skinny jeans and shit like that out there fighting for you. They're going to be crying and whimpering off in the damn corner somewhere.
Yep. And you know what? That's the spirit, man, because I was actually looking real deep at this verse last night. It's Isaiah 4:1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man. Not a wuss, not a dude wearing skinny jeans, not some over-emotional Egyptologist, none of that. A man, saying we will eat our own bread. And particularly, when it says man, it's talking about the men that are professing Lam Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. No other men. Okay? Because those are the men. All the rest of y'all are pussies, cowards, bitches, hoe-ass niggas, and whatever else you want to say. Okay? Lost, whatever. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach.
So, once again, man, this is all going to come into play. These devils going to betray you. In this day and time, Lord willing, it comes soon, man, because this is what they have done in the past, which we just went over earlier, man. They made treaties with the so-called Native Americans. They promised us 40 acres and a mule. This is all a repeat. Everything's it's going to happen again. Hey, look, man, you take this chip, you're going to be okay. That's even more worse than these things that they've done in the past.
Yep.
Because when your Yahushua come back, man, that's when your heads are coming off, and you're gonna burn the hell up. That's the biggest thing of all we want to see. Lord willing, we make it up on those chariots.
Lord willing.
Let's see. Matter of fact, I got a precept for you on those nigga women too, man. It says here in Isaiah chapter 32, verse 9, rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Because y'all, do you think you're gonna continue on this wicked kingdom? You're gonna be accepted, but y'all don't even realize how stupid you even on television today.
Yeah.
That it drives me crazy, man. I like I said, man, I look at these shows, man, just to see how wicked shit go, how much wickedness is going on, especially amongst the nigga women. Some of you bitches don't even know any damn thing. Like I said, I saw that shit with on YouTube with the Real Housewives of Atlanta, where one bitch, she keeps talking about how her grandfather marched with Martin Luther King, but this bitch thought that the Underground Railroad had real train tracks, and that somebody was driving the goddamn train up under the ground from the southern parts of America all the way to northern parts of America to freedom. I ain't never seen no shit like that, man. Our people are that fucking dumbed down. Yeah, they're fucked up, man. I can't believe this, man. I was like, and this bitch has the nerve to talk about she went to college. You're not gonna find. Hey, I'm sorry, but you obviously didn't learn shit in college.
There was no higher learning there.
That goes to show you, man, that this is how dumbed down our people are, and you don't learn shit in these fucking schools. And like the brother said, man, these bitches be all fucked up and drunk and shit, man. Smitten with blindness and madness. That's a curse, man. That's a heavy curse, man.
My little brother had sent me one of these YouTube. It's like one of these video vixens. She used to date Chris Brown, and now she dating some cowboy player. And it's crazy because the society of the more of a whore you are, the more the more publicity you get. And they had this girl on a radio show, and the girl had asked her a question, and she was like, because she had a reputation for sleeping around with a lot of men to get to where she's at now, and she was like, what do you feel about people calling you a hoe? And this is what this bitch said straight up, and I'm gonna send it to you after we get off the phone, off the Uber. The chick said, I don't feel like at a certain point, I feel like your wholeness could get deleted. I'm not a hoe anymore. That shit came out of her mouth, bro. So,
and niggas believe that shit. Y'all accept that shit for what it is, man. I don't want no bitch that's constantly ran through, man. None of the women of Israel are righteous, man. All of them wicked as hell, man.
That's right.
Like, matter of fact, let me find that real quick, man. It just goes to show you, man, this is how wicked our people are, man. This is in Proverbs chapter 31, verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband doeth safely trust in her, so that she'll have no need of spoil. Matter of fact, the point was there in verse 10. You can't find you're not going to be able to find a virtuous woman, man.
Nope.
Our women don't listen to this shit. They don't comprehend this. It's just not there. And they're so sloppy today. And I mean that not just on a spiritual level and physically, man. They're the ones with the sloppy bodies now.
Yep.
I was looking at your Elder Gabar, man. He said, man, look, man, some of the white women starting to look delicious now.
Yep. Because they keep themselves in shape. Like, the thing, you can talk whatever you want about, about white women or whatever, but man, how many white women I see, whether they got babies or not, they be in their little tights and pushing their strollers at not 3 in the morning, like 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning before they go into work. You know what I'm saying? That all of that, so, it's crazy.
This is our people, man. Who wants to deal? We don't want to continuously deal with women who just think they can talk down to their fucking men. Who wants to deal with shit like that? Because when the time really comes, when that martial law kick in, man, they're going to do the same thing they did to us in the past, but even worse. You guys pay attention to what goes on in these wars, man. That shit they constantly cover up too. It's no different from what you see in the past when they talk about Vietnam and stuff. Don't y'all know they rape their own women and men in the fucking military?
Yep.
This is how fucked up. This is why this place is spiritually known as Babylon, which means land of confusion.
Mm-hmm.
And these soldiers, man, they all fucked up in the game, man. And just to go in further on how wicked Esau is, they don't take care of these soldiers. When they come out of the military, when they have that post-traumatic stress disorder or other disabilities, they don't give a fuck. And I tell y'all that from a personal point of view, man, because I'm a retired military officer. I've been treated like shit in the Army. Then I got to listen to niggas in the military who always want to talk about your honor as a black soldier and all this other shit. How we need to be better than Esau. in the military, but y'all niggas is just as wicked as they are, if not worse. I've witnessed that shit. And now that I'm out with an actual disability, I get no type of justice, no treatment, no nothing. That's why my eyes are open to this shit, man. And I would be stupid to turn my back on the Most High, man, after experiencing something just as much as that. I can't put my trust in this wicked ass kingdom no more, man. I'm not gonna listen to no damn Al Sharptongue and try to run to him for help. Or NAACP, whatever the fuck you want to call it these days, man. These people have never helped our people out. You've never gotten any justice. I got another verse for this, with Isaiah chapter 59, starting at verse 1. Behold, the Lord's hand is not shortened, that it cannot save, neither his ear heavy, that it cannot hear. But your iniquities have separated between you and your power, and your sins have hid his face from you, that he will not hear. For your hands are defiled with blood, and your fingers with iniquity. Your lips have spoken lies, your tongue hath muttered perverseness. None calleth for justice, nor any pleadeth for truth. They trust in vanity and speak lies. They conceive mischief and bring forth iniquity. So when y'all continuously want to listen to these people, man, especially during this time, during this day and time, man, so be it, man. These are the snares and traps you set for yourself. And this is why we out here to warn you people, man, that this place is almost at an end. Thus saith the Bible. And it's all according to prophecy. We're almost out of here. You have to man up. We can't afford to be playing games anymore. Come to the actual understanding of who you are. And stop playing games, man. You even got brothers out there who, even within Israel, this is not a new black power movement and some uprising, man. You're not going to be able to do anything by yourself. Not until the return of Yahweh Shai, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. You got anything else, brother?
No, that's it, bro. That's it. Just y'all man up.
With that, we're going to close out. Once again, giving all praises to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders of GMS. And all you brothers out there preaching this truth and sincerity. Shalom.